Hi everyone, Jason from Makera here with another Makera Studio tutorial, and in this one we're going to overview the Device tab as we talk about how to connect and control our CNC machines. So obviously in Makera Studio we've combined the CAM functionality and the controller functionality all in one application for Windows and Mac devices. So to control your CNC, and that includes controlling it, changing the settings, uploading a job, and running a job, is all done from the Device tab. Now you can access the Device tab at any time, and you can also send a file directly from the CAM tab to the Device tab, which we'll talk about later on and we talk about in our other videos. The first thing you need to do is simply connect to your device. Now, as you can see, I don't have a device connected just yet, so let's click this Node device, and any device I've connected to previously, I will see in a list here. Now you'll see I have a bunch of machines that I've connected to previously. Most of them are offline right now, but one of them is on, so you can see I can find my Carvera A via Wi-Fi, and I can simply click on that to connect to it from the controller. But if you're trying to connect to a machine that you haven't connected to before, it won't actually be here in this list. So let me disconnect from my Carvera by clicking this little disconnect button. And now let's click Add Device. So if you have a device on your Wi-Fi, or if you've actually switched to the machine's Wi-Fi, so you've disconnected your computer from your own home network or office network and you've connected it directly to the machine's Wi-Fi network, you should see that here under the Wi-Fi list. So you can see I have one machine available that I've never connected to before. The Makera Z1 specifically can actually be connected to via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So I should actually see that machine both in my Bluetooth menu if I'm close enough, as well as the Wi-Fi menu. And if you don't see any devices, you can find it via IP if it's already been on your network before, and you can click refresh if something's not popping up. So I'm just going to grab the Z1 and connect to it. Once I've connected to it once, it'll be added to this list so I can easily find it later on. And if you plug in via USB, you'll see that you have USB connections located here immediately. You don't need to search for that. That will just automatically pop up for you to connect via USB. Now, if you did want to change the Wi-Fi settings of your machine after you've connected to it, you can then go into Wi-Fi configuration to then choose a Wi-Fi network to connect to and enter that Wi-Fi password to put your machine onto your own Wi-Fi if that's something you'd like to do. Now, the device control window here gives us a lot of different options. In the window, it's all about focusing on any type of CNC G-code file that we've uploaded. I don't have a file uploaded or selected just yet, so all of this is blank, and we'll come back to this later on. On the right-hand side, you have immediate jog control. So you can see the current position of your machine. You can see what tools are loaded. So for example, I have the probe loaded here. If I wanted to, I can click on this and change this to a different tool number. If this was the Carvera, I would have the option to actually automatically enable the automatic tool changer to drop a tool or load a new tool. And if I wanted to, I can calibrate a tool so I can actually use the automatic tool setter to do that. I also have my jog control, so I can manually jog my machine across any of the axes. X horizontally, Y the bed would be backwards and forwards, Z would be the head up and down, and then A would be the fourth axis if that's connected. You can choose the increments in which you're jogging for whichever jog control you're operating, and you can press the home button just to go back to your default home position. You then have a couple other handy little shortcut tools down here. For example, Quick Move lets you quickly move to, let's say, anchor position 1 or your clearance height or whatever it might be. Unlock would be if you click an automatic e-stop. So if you hit your emergency stop button, if you hit a limit and you need to unlock your machine, you can do that here. Setting the origin will allow you to actually set the origin position of a job. This can be done manually at this time or later on as you're going to run your job. You can also reset your machine if you want to restart it without actually powering it on and off. And you can run your 3D probing feature if that is an accessory that you have. Down here, you have your MDI window to see what's happening. So for example, all the different things that you're doing, as well as sending manual G commands. And again, if you have a file selected, you'll see the G code of that file. Heading over to the left side menu, we are in the Device Control tab. Let's switch to the File Storage tab. This is where you have all of the G-code files that you've uploaded, as well as the example files that are already preloaded on your CNC. You can upload a file manually by simply clicking Upload and selecting it from your computer. And to be clear, this could be any G-code file compatible with your machine. So that could be generated from Makera Studio, it could be generated from Makera CAM, it could also be generated from another CAM software like Fusion, SolidWorks, or something else like that. And in addition to being able to make new folders and upload a project right here, you can also send a project directly from Makera Studio if you're working on it in the CAM tab. For example, here's a part that I just finished and I have all my toolpaths prepared. I can just click this Send to Machine, make sure that I want to send all of my toolpaths that are selected, and then click Send to Machine to send this directly to my machine if I've already connected to it. If I haven't connected to a machine yet, it's going to prompt me to connect to a machine first. This is going to automatically upload the G-code file to the internal drive of my CNC and select it in the Device Control tab. So if we head over to our Device Control tab, we can see that we have this file selected. With the file selected, we now get a toolpath preview. This is not the same thing as the preview that you get in the CAM features of Makera Studio, as it doesn't show you your stock material, but it does show you all the different toolpaths that your CNC is going to do, and it lets you play it back to get a real-time preview of what your CNC is going to do for your job. You also get a little image of your part down here, and you have some more controls up top. For example, if you want to see the toolpaths of the specific tools that you're using, you can show or hide just the toolpaths for the different tools that are at play. You also have control to actually show the different toolpaths. So for example, I have 4 toolpaths in this project in particular, so I can see or hide all of them. And for the Z1 specifically, I can actually turn on the webcam and click on this to make it larger to actually see the webcam built into the Z1. When you have a file selected, you can also now see the G-code and browse it line by line. And as you're machining something, the G-code will progress and show you the line that the machine is on, as well as progress here in the preview window to show you exactly what the CNC is doing. With our job loaded, we can actually also start to manufacture it. So I'm going to click the Start button here, and we're guided through the machining wizard to prepare this for manufacturing. The first thing is to set the position of your stock. Now with the Z1 specifically, we see that we only have the option for anchor position 1, but this window will change depending on which CNC you're using. So for example, the Carvera and Carvera Air, which let you select different anchor positions. For all of these, you can also choose a custom position and set a custom offset position in the next step, but I'm going to keep this aligned for anchor position 1, and I can see my stock material here. Next, we can go to Set Origin, and this is actually the origin of our job. So you can see that in my cam, I actually had this centered in my stock, with an offset of 0, 0 to put myself centered. I can change this, as well as make it relative to anchor position 1 or a custom position that I'm setting. If you want to go back to where it was in the cam, you can always click Same as Cam, and that will reset it automatically for you. You also have the option to run through the 3D probing wizard if that's an accessory that you have. We'll actually figure out where your part should be relative to your stock using the 3D probe. And one thing that you should always enable is Scan Margin. So by turning this on, the margin of your job will be traced automatically using the Z probe, whether that's the wired Z probe for the Z1 or the Carvera Air, or the wireless Z probe for the Carvera, just to show you visually where your part's going to be before cutting it. Next, we can set up our auto probing features. You have 2 options here. If you want, you can do what's called auto leveling, where multiple probing points are taken to actually figure out if there's any deviations or warping in your stock and compensate for that automatically. So you'll get a very even cut despite the fact that your stock might be warped, because the Z height will be adjusted automatically. And you can change your clearance height, meaning how large the warp would be, how much does it have to clear in terms of the warping of your part, as well as how many probing points you'd like in the X and Y axes. You don't necessarily always have to enable that. It depends on whether your stock's kind of warped or thin. I find that's very helpful for really bowed wood or curved material or PCBs that tend to warp. If you don't enable auto leveling, you should absolutely enable auto Z height probing. So this is going to automatically probe the height of your stock, and you wouldn't have to do this if you use the 3D probe. But without using the 3D probe, you want to make sure that you're measuring the thickness of your stock, so again, your offsets can be compensated automatically. This will automatically probe in the middle of your design, but if you'd like to offset and probe in a different point, you can always adjust that as well. Lastly, you can choose your assist options, and this will change depending on the CNC. For example, auto vacuum can be enabled for any of our machines, but for the Z1 or the Carvera Air, it would only enable auto vacuum if an external vacuum like the Makera Cyclone or Cyclone Light is connected, where the Carvera's auto vacuum is built in and would turn on. The Z1 has the option for auto blow, auto bed clean, and anti-static, as well as recording using the built-in webcam, where the Carvera Air and the Carvera would have different options for air assist features and things that are enabled on those CNCs specifically. With your features enabled, you can click Next to get an overall summary of your job before clicking Run to start manufacturing. Once you start, you'll be prompted to load the correct tools, such as the probe, the bits, and everything you need to start to manufacture your job. And as I mentioned, you can monitor your job in the Makera Studio device tab, as well as on a mobile tablet if you have that connected. Also on the device tab, we can head over to the diagnostic window, and you have to be careful as you have a lot of control to make adjustments which could potentially cause damage or harm to your CNC if you adjust something out of where it should be. So we recommend that you stick with their default settings, but you do have control to manually turn things on and off, such as spindle fans, the laser for testing, as well as check to make sure that all of your limit switches, the probing points, emergency stop, extended outputs, and all of your different sensors and features are operating as they should be through Diagnostics. You can update your firmware directly here from the device tab, and you'll be prompted anytime there is a firmware update available. And then you could also fine tune all of your parameter settings. But again, please be extremely cautious with doing this and seek help from our support team, as these settings are set to give you the optimal and recommended parameters for your CNC, and modifying these could potentially cause damage or unnecessary wear to your CNC if you adjust things out of where they should be. And lastly, you'll notice that some of the buttons change in the device tab as mentioned earlier, depending on which CNC you're connected based on the features available. For example, for file storage, you'll see that I can access time-lapse recordings for my Z1, and you'll notice that we gain a Pair Wireless Pro button for my Carvera when I connect to a different CNC. So that's an overview of the device tab. We will absolutely dive deeper into all the different features that you can use in Makera Studio with more content and guides on our Wiki and YouTube channel. So please stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching.